Good afternoon, crafters. Hello and welcome again to the Papercrafts Peninsula Online Craft Show, brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercrafts Show, your scrapbooking, mixed media art and papercraft community. I'm your host, Wendy Stewart, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joining you again for this session. Papercrafts Online Show brings you many demonstrations and interviews with our talented guest artists and retailers. For all of the details, please head over to our website, from picture to page and beyond.com.au. You can get all the up-to-date details of this show, plus links to our guests and all the replays when they become available. While you're there, please make sure you join our mailing list, which is our email list, so that you can be the first to get all the updates on this show to start with, and then the links to all the replays when they're posted, and all the information for all the upcoming shows that hopefully will be happening in 2021. We don't want you to miss a thing, so please make sure you sign up. Now, if you're watching live on Facebook with us right now, or a replay on Facebook or YouTube, we want to know you're here. So please pop into the comments and say hi, like Niamh has. That's hilarious. And Eleanor and Val, welcome ladies, and thank you for joining us all. If you have any questions, please pop them into the comments and we will try to answer them during the session, or our artist will go back after the session and answer them. So let's get started. Let me tell you, this is an absolute personal delight for me to welcome the incredible, talented Niamh Baly to the show. If you don't know who Niamh is, by the end of this, you're going to be drooling, you're going to be inspired, you're just going to want to grab some art journal stuff and get going. Niamh is one of the premier art journal artists, I just say, not just in Australia, but in the world. She is incredible. I've been lucky to know her personally for many, many years, and I continue to be inspired by her and given the courage to try new things and do new things. And this year especially, Niamh has been this shining light that has helped all of us through these COVID times, and for that I'm incredibly grateful. So I think I've embarrassed her enough, so it's time to welcome Niamh to the show.
Hello.
Hi,
Those are big shoes to fill.
Niamh. Don't be silly, just calling it like I see it, and totally true. It's just such a delight to have you on the show today, so thank you again for your time and for being here.
You are very welcome. I absolutely adore coming. So it's lots of fun to create with you all.
Awesome, awesome. So Niamh, just for people who may not know you or know about you, would you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
I'm Niamh. I've been doing this for a long time now.
We don't want to talk about how many years, do we?
Well, I started when I was 12, which is a lot longer than I expected to be. But I've been art journaling since 2003.
Yes.
I'm a primary school teacher, mum with two small kids. So my art journal is my sane place. I go to escape at night and, just have some time for me, which is really important. So, yeah, lots of fun.
That's awesome. And there's lots of people popping in to say hello. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Eleanor. I hope I'm saying your names right, but welcome everyone. So, Niamh, what have you got in store for us today? I mean, I don't care what you have in store for us. It's going to be amazing. But what do you have for us today, please?
Well, I'm actually a really bad teacher today. I'm doing something that I don't usually do, because I usually actually practice beforehand and just have it fresh in my mind.
Right.
But I was tossing up between painting faces or doing a background, but I've decided that we're going to do a background.
Awesome.
Because I know a lot of people are card makers, scrapbookers, and so on. So you don't just have to do this technique in your art journal.
No.
This is an awesome technique to do for Christmas cards, because it's that time of year.
Yes, I know, right?
I like showing techniques that you can use across a wide variety of things. This you can sort of apply to everything. So
wonderful.
Everyone will enjoy it.
Great. So I'm going to give you a moment to get ready, and I'll come back to you in just a moment. So I hope you're ready to be inspired by the incredible Niamh. She's posted in the comments what you might need if you'd like to play along. So if you just want to have a flick through the comments, the items are there, and maybe you can join Niamh as she creates. So I think she's ready for us. So Niamh, over to you.
Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing today.
Wow.
Similar to, we're not going to get this detailed in the time that we've got, but I'm going to give you a good starting block to do this. So basically, this is just a gridded off technique. It's kind of like collage matrices, which I have lots of fun doing, that you can cut up into lots of little pieces. So It's just a really great technique that you can use, again, as I said, on scrapbook pages or whatever. So start off with some washi tape. Basically, you just need washi tape, some acrylic paints, some stamps, anything you've got lying around. I have pre-gessoed this page. It does work better on a pre-gessoed page.
Okay.
But if you haven't gessoed, the only real issue you're going to have is removing your washi tape at the end. And if you're a patient and actually heat it up as you go, it's not going to be an issue. So it's just more an issue for me because I'm not patient. Oops, I'm causing a landslide. So basically all I'm doing is just using my washi to make a grid on the, hopefully a straight grid, on my page.
And is that a Dina Wakley journal you're using, please, Niamh?
Yes, this is the blue journal.
The blue journal, yep, thank you.
So, but it works great. The original journal I showed you was the Dilutions one. So whatever you've got will work.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter how you divide off your grid. The one that I showed you before was a double page. I thought I'd just do a single to save some time today.
Sure.
So you can go nuts to divide it up in any way, shape or form. If you didn't want to do this, you could do the technique I'm showing you in the background just onto a plain piece of paper and cut it up into smaller bits later.
Okay, yes.
That would work the same too.
Okay, great. So
all I'm going to do is pop on a little bit of paint, and less is more for this technique. I'm going to use a scraper. If you don't have something like this, use anything. A stiff piece of cardboard will work the same. Basically, we're just going to scrape across, pretend the washi's not there, and just scrape your colour across the page. Now, I have to admit, I usually do use the Dilutions journal to do this technique. The paper's a little bit smoother, so your paint spreads a little bit easier.
Okay.
But it still works. The other thing is, usually I would say, especially when you're working with acrylic paints, to, make sure every layer is dry before you put a new colour on. But to be honest, because you're scraping it out so fine, that pink's already dry. So if you've still got quite thick paint, or you can see it is still quite wet, give it a quick flit of the heat gun before you add a new colour, because otherwise that's where you're going to sort of get your muddy colours from.
Yeah, that's a great tip, Niamh. Absolutely great tip.
So yeah, but you can sort of see it's just overlaying. And as I always say with mixed media, also try and get your paint actually in the white bits, not on your washi. that helps too. It's going to look like a dog's dinner. It's supposed to look like a dog's dinner. It's okay, because it's going to look amazing when you're finished with it. So don't go, oh my God, that looks disgusting.
Yes.
Because it will look fine when we're finished. You just have to believe and push through the pain. And I know it is really painful for some people, and they really struggle with this with mixed media, but it's okay.
It's all going to look fabulous in the end.
It does. And people are so surprised by it. And especially when I teach classes, they're going, but how did you know that was going to be okay? And it's like, well, I didn't really, but, it's always worked out for me in the past, so yes. I don't worry about it anymore.
Yes, absolutely.
So now, one of the things that if people follow my YouTube channel will know, I've got a running issue with leaving white space. For this technique, I'm actually going to fill up all the colours that I've got in here, because the white space is actually going to be in the masked off area. So I will actually have some when I'm finished.
Sure.
When I get to sort of this area, if I find, and you can put as many colours on as you want in this, you don't need to worry too much. I often find with a lot of my things that getting my finger in, I can get a smoother blend. If you don't want to use your finger, if you'd rather use a paintbrush, that's fine. But this is where you can kind of look at it and go, oh, I just want to put a bit of balance on here, or I just want to make sure that I've sort of got all the colours represented. I'll put a bit of orange into. Yes, I do love my Dina colours, because they're all sort of just nice, bright, happy colours. They're not as muted as some other colour palettes that you get. So, but again, I'm doing a rainbow effect. You could certainly do blue greens and just have one color range to do this. I'm just
Absolutely.
going to heat this up just to make sure everything's nice and dry. A big piece of orange there down the bottom.
So you want all of it dry before you do the next step, right, Niamh?
Yeah, just so I don't mix it up too much. So my next thing that I'm going to do is kind of my secret weapon. And I know not everyone has these, but if you don't, you should get some. Neon paints, and I am the first to say I'm not a neon person. Well,
Sure.
I never would have said I was a neon person, but they're amazing because what they do is they act like a filter over a photo and they just boost the colors. So even though this is so bright already, watch the difference once I put these over the top. Neon colors are translucent, so they just build on top. So by putting that over some of that turquoise, you've suddenly got this sort of lime green color happening.
Absolutely. It looks stunning.
So it's just a really easy trick, and it doesn't matter. These, like, if you could, they're not ridiculously expensive, and a little goes a long, long way. But I would, if you ever get the opportunity, if you've tried this out and you decide you like the effect, I would go for the Amsterdam paints. But the Dylusions new neon paints, even there's white ones which are quite cheap, and you can get a set of 8 different colors.
Yes.
They're just great to play around with to sort of see, one, do you actually like it? But if you can see that pink, it's just like, whoa.
Oh, it's gorgeous. There's a lot of love coming for these colors in the comments from everybody.
Excuse me. Yeah, so they're just amazing. And again, a little goes a long, long way. You just need to rub it out. And you don't need to put all the colors on. You can just have one. If I had to choose, again, which is really weird for me, I'd actually probably go the pink because I'm not a pink person, or the yellow.
Right.
Those are my 2 if I had to.
Okay.
But the green is always good, and there's an orange as well. So, yeah. So it seems a little bit redundant, I suppose, putting colours over the top of colours you've got, but it's because it's like that filter. It just boosts it completely. It makes a huge difference. So if you ever think, I've got a piece that I really like, but it's just lacking something, try putting a little bit of neon over the top and see what happens.
For sure.
Excuse me. Okay. So this is, again, like I do with a lot of my techniques. You can stop this at any stage. I'm going to go whole hog and do everything on this, but
Yes.
you can stop at any particular stage. So first thing I'm going to do is some stamping on it. And again, if you've only got black ink, that's fine. But these little, I tend to only use archival inks because I like to build up layers. So obviously they are permanent. I was going to say translucent, but that's not the word I was looking for.
No, they're permanent. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So particularly for working acrylic paints, if you want to build up layers, they're really handy. So by just having a little bit of colour in your stamping, again, it's fairly subtle. I tend to use the same colours I've used in the background, so you're just getting that repetitive boost of colour. I love mark making stamps, so I use those a lot in my stamping. I also am a terrible stamper because I rarely use my blocks, but that's okay. You don't have to. So I'm stamping over the washi. I'm not trying to put it in any particular place. It's just to add some texture. It doesn't need to make any sense because, again, this is just a background.
Right.
And I suppose one of the things when we talk about backgrounds is some people sort of say, oh, but I love my background. I don't want to do anything to it. So this is actually quite good to remove yourself from this because I don't know what this is going to look like at the end, because when I take off the tape, it's going to look completely different.
Absolutely.
So I could love this bit here, but I've actually got 3 pieces of washi that I'm going to remove from here. So I have absolutely no control about what it's going to look like. So sometimes taking the control away from yourself is actually a good thing. So, so it's just about building up.
And you basically, as you said, Niamh, you just keep going till you're happy with it. If you want to stop, stop. If you don't, just keep going till you're happy with it.
That's it. So I quite like text in my backgrounds. It's just something, most of my work has text in it somewhere, shape or form.
Yes.
I don't know why, but it just does. So just simple text stamps. And again, I'm just stamping it off, so I'm getting all those generations of prints. So some of it's, quite clear, some of it's quite rough. The other thing that you can use is, just look around your house. Bubble wrap is awesome.
Bubble wrap's the best.
Particularly for this technique. I don't know why, but there's just something about those big dots. Coming up to Christmas, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of bubble wrap floating around.
I think so.
Possibly. So that's looking very, very muddy. Lots on it, but that's okay. If you do take it too far and you think, oh, okay, I really liked it and now it's got too much in it, this is where you can have a little bit of control back by stenciling with some white. So that's kind of adding our white space back in again. And white is incredibly important in artwork. It does balance it. It's just like adding the black at the end. You suddenly get this focus to it. The white's going to act like that too.
Yeah, so absolutely, Niamh.
Stenciling on the top. So I've got my paint out, but you can see I'm actually pounding that in so I don't have very much stencil. Don't have very much paint on my sponge. And again, sort of pretty rough and ready. And I'm going straight over the washi. I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing. But some directional type stuff on here is always quite good. So this is a stencil. I know you had Niamh Baly on earlier on. I think it was today or yesterday. This is one of her stencils.
Oh, beautiful.
To promote the good old Aussies.
And just adding some directional shows a bit of movement in the page, which is, always awesome. So
that's it. And, it helps move your eye across the page. But it doesn't have to be. Like I've got these don't move your stencil when you're stenciling. That's always a good thing. I've got an interesting thing there, but that's always good to put my focal point over. So these sort of mixed stencils are really good because you can get some really cool effects. So you can put as much or as little on. You might love it or you might hate it, but it's all good.
Yes.
Sorry, just chucking some paint into my use it up journal because I hate wasting paint.
We don't ever want to waste anything in our art. There's always a use for it, or...
Yeah, well, if you don't have a use it up journal, I would highly suggest you do it. I just chuck in any leftover paint I've got on my palettes, and then I just use them. So they're all completely crazy and ridiculous, but they're really good if you've only got 15 minutes to sit down and do a night journal. So I highly recommend if you don't have one.
Great idea.
To get one. Yes, bubble wrap. Bubble wrap's a keen. And hello, Kerry. How are you? So I'm this is where it is at the moment. Probably if I'd taken more time and care with it, but I sort of want to get on to the next bit for you. What I'm doing is obviously drying my stuff, but I'm actually heating up my washi tape.
Yes.
Because I've learned from the past that if you actually heat it up, you're less likely to tear it when you remove it. Usually I try and take it off and then take off half the paper, which I've just done here, but that's okay. So much easier when you heat it up.
Yeah, that's another great tip, to use your heat gun as you're removing the washi tape on your project.
And again, this is torn a little bit. It doesn't really bother me. The dilutions is less likely to do this because this is a paper pulp type paper.
Right.
So the dilutions one's a bit more like just straight cardboard, but you can see where it's hot, it's removing really neatly. Oops. Just don't burn your fingers from having it in here too
No,
long.
please don't burn your fingers. And you know what? I've actually used washi tape like that, reused it, the pieces you're taking off.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, by accident. I didn't mean to. It just fell on another page, and I went, oh, that looks good just on its own. So if you can reuse it, they look fantastic.
They do. But this is a great way, if you've got washi tape you really don't like, it's a great way to use it up, because I'm sure all of us have got some.
I think so.
You know, isn't necessarily our favourite. And if you don't have it, masking tape works the same. Oh, big tear there. But you can sort of see we started off with something really messy, and now we've got this controlled, just little bits on our page.
That's just awesome.
There we go. So it's a really, really quick and easy background to do. And you can see, like, if I'd done that in a big sheet of paper and not had the washi on it, you could cut it up into the smaller pieces, and that would make a great front for slightly different technique, but a great front for a Christmas card or, you know, a birthday card or something like that. Just
absolutely.
cutting up those little bits. Or, again, this is done using a slightly different technique, but same sort of principle. I did a collage matrix, which is basically what this is, and I cut it up in small triangles to make some abstract trees.
Beautiful.
So it's just about thinking outside the box with what you're doing, so you can do it. So seeing I've got this page here, the other question that you quite often get is, right, you've got this background, so what are you going to do with it?
Yes.
With nice bright things like this, I quite like doing magazine collage. I am going to cheat slightly because I've actually chosen the pieces beforehand, because we do have a very short amount of time here.
Sure.
A lot of these are from the Dina Wakley collage packs that she's got, some of her stamps, and this is some paper from a magazine. So I'm just going to quickly put together a little collage.
Gorgeous.
On the page. And again, this is totally up to you where you choose to put it on your page.
Yes.
Because you can choose the bits that you want to hide, or the bits that you want to accentuate. So, you know, it's always good when you come to magazine collage. I'm just going to decide where I want her head, so her head can kind of go that way. I'm just going to paste down the middle of her head. Now, Dina Wakley uses glue sticks. That's probably more sensible in the fact that you can kind of work out where you're going to put stuff, but I have done a little bit of auditioning beforehand, so I kind of know where I'm doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do not think that this is how quick I usually do magazine collages, because it definitely isn't. You know, but doing things in half an hour, you kind of have to be a little bit
absolutely, Niamh, absolutely. But it's looking fantastic.
This is actually a big curly leaf stamp that I've cut in half. I just love it as hair, or a sort of additional hair.
Yes.
Just a little bit of extra.
And I love that you put the part of a body magazine cut out upside down. That was just awesome. Love it.
I just really like the pink. For me, saying I'm not a pink girl, I just really like the pink. So
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put a bit of a flowery
cute
thing on her bottom.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where you can now have fun with your paint pens. So one of the things that's quite important, well, it's not quite important, you don't have to do it at all. Where am I going? Paint pens are awesome when you're doing stuff like this, because you can just add in additional detail. So Diane has kind of already done some of this work for you, but I always like going in and adding a little bit more. So, you know, I like boosting eye color a little bit, adding extra detail to the stamped images. The other thing that I will do, but I obviously don't have time to do on this live at the moment, I'll put the finished one up on the page and tag it in, and it'll be on Instagram as well. If you go to my Instagram page with the link to this replay.
Awesome.
But by adding just that extra bit of detail, it helps make this piece of artwork yours. So yes, you have used collage images from someone else or stamped images from someone else, but if you're adding extra line work, it helps involve you as part of the artistry in it, I think.
Exactly.
It makes it unique to you, because while we can all use the same stamped images, how we actually use them, or what colours we use, or what line work we use, is going to make it look completely different.
For sure.
So, you know, if I wanted to, I could make her have lined boots, because everyone wants liney boots.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's one way you could do it. Obviously, you could do so much more and do things in a different, what am I doing? Different colour scheme. You could make it match.
Exactly. You just enhance it to do what you want it to do and say what you want to say. So
that's right. So I was just ducking under the table to grab something that I had prepared earlier.
All good. You're going good.
I like to do is I'm actually being nice on this one. Usually when I've got magazine collages, I like to be a little bit snarky, but this one I thought I'd say fall in love with the process, because I just love this process. And I've just stamped it onto some white card. So quite often, particularly when I'm working in an art journal, unless I'm doing background stamping like I did here, where it really doesn't matter if it's not perfect,
right,
I tend to either stamp onto tissue paper that I can glue on with gel medium, or stamp onto some white cardboard. And it just means it gives me a little bit more precise stamping and a little bit more control over how I actually glue it down. So with sayings like this, I can sort of chop it up and, you know, weave it in around my image a little bit.
And that way you're taking back a bit more control and making it your own.
That's right. So, you know, I can have her go down here, or I might pop it there. Yeah, so it might do that. So it's all in one of those little boxes. And that means I can do some journaling down the bottom if I want to do as well. And again, totally your call if you're doing this. You know, you could outline each of those boxes with black pen and make them really stand out as something separate, or you can just allow the white to do that for you. So
sure.
There is no, with everything in art journaling, there is absolutely no right or wrong. Do it whatever way you want to, because you're the boss.
There you go. And I think we all have to stop being so hard on ourselves and stop overthinking it, as the lovely Michelle Brown keeps telling us all. Stop overthinking it and just put it down, you know, and you can always change it or adapt it or enhance it any which way you want.
Well, one of the things that I love about the creative process is it's actually the problem solving I love. Someone actually asked on my YouTube channel the other night, do you know what you're doing before you start? And quite honestly, the answer is no. I have no idea what colours I'm going to use. I've got all my paint sitting next to me. It's just whatever I grab. And if it doesn't work, it's like, okay, the blue didn't work. How am I going to offset that? Well,
sure.
If I want it to be really popping out, I'm going to use orange because that's opposite, or I'm going to use a green because that's going to tie in and it might blend it back into the background again.
Yes.
So that's what I love about art making is it's a problem solving. And I don't necessarily have an end goal in mind. It's just a series of, well, I need to solve that problem. Once I've solved this problem, I need to solve that problem.
Awesome.
And that's what I like about the journey. Yep. I know that's a bit stressful for some people, but for me, that's the bit I really enjoy about
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Niamh. That was awesome. So I might give you a moment and I'll just bring you back on camera in just 1 second.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wasn't that incredible to watch Niamh create that page? And, it might not have looked like much to start with, but look how wonderful it turned out. So I think Niamh is ready to come back and chat to us. So thank you so much for that, Niamh. That was just incredible, as always.
You are very, very welcome. Very quick and easy, but it's one that you can use in so many different ways.
And as you said, you can make Christmas cards out of it, or just birthday cards, or a scrapbook page, or anything, or just an art, use it for that technique can be used in absolutely everything that we want to. Yeah. So Niamh, before I have to say goodbye to you, where can people find you, find out more about you, find out about your work, find out about classes, or anything else you'd like to share with us, please?
Well, if you would like to follow me on YouTube, I have got over 300 videos there that go through my creative process from start to finish, showing you lots and lots and lots of techniques. We've just hit 12,000 subscribers, which is just mind-blowing because 2 months ago we were at 10,000. So I don't know what happened there. So, yes, please come visit me on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram at Niamh Baly. But if you're interested in doing classes with me, I have got 6 or maybe 7, I can't even remember now, online classes. They're $25 for the class. There's a 3-hour class, but usually because I get a bit carried away, there's lots of bonus videos and extra stuff and extra files because I just love it so much. So you can find those through Bev's Crosscraft if you look under online classes. And because all of them have been, the live section is now over, they're available within 24, 48 hours. It just depends when Andrew gets your name to me, and I'll sign you up to the Facebook group for that. But they're lots and lots of fun, and the little communities that are in each of those classrooms, as Wendy can attest to, because she's one of those amazing people in one of those communities. But it's just so lovely and supportive, and they're still posting stuff in the groups, which is just amazing.
I think we did our first class with you in April or March when all this lockdown stuff started, and we're still going in there and posting stuff. So it's been an incredible experience, and not only do we learn, but you're with like-minded people who just enhance your creativity and inspire you. And if you think you've done something, blah, 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 they go, no, it's actually really good, you're being hard on yourself. And I think that's the most wonderful thing. And of course, congratulations on 12,000 subscribers. That's mind-blowing. Totally. So
it's weird. I started 2 years ago and I thought, I got to 500 people, that's amazing. And it's like I just can't actually wrap my head around it.
That's because you inspire us all, and you are so generous with your talent and time and knowledge, and for that we are all so grateful, Niamh.
Oh, thank you so much, Wendy.
Well, it's been my absolute pleasure, personal absolute pleasure hosting you today. If I don't see you before Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas with your family, and hope you keep inspiring us and keep creating and helping us all to create, and just stop being so hard on ourselves, which has been the best lesson of all this year.
Yes, well, same to you. And just to keep the Christmas spirit up, I am actually involved as a Christmas YouTube Advent hop thing happening starting in December. That will be on my Instagram and on my Niamh's journal page that you will have links to, and there'll be lots of artists, not just me.
Wonderful.
But there'll be a new artist each day. Teaching you a lesson on Christmas or mixed media or stuff. So
that's exciting. So maybe if you can pop up a link in the comments or something of this, or just all your links, so that people can find you and follow and be inspired by you.
Yep, not a problem.
All right. Thanks, Niamh. Have a great evening and enjoy.
Bye,
Catch you
everybody.
later. Bye. Wasn't that incredible? She is so talented and has so much to share, so I hope you all got something out of that. Please go and follow Niamh, be inspired by her, take a class, learn, and just have fun with your work and your art journaling, because there is no right and wrong. There's no art journaling police coming to check up on you, so just have fun. It's been my absolute pleasure to bring you that session. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be back again later with more amazing people to inspire you. Till then, this is Wendy Stewart signing off. I'm saying bye for now, and remember to please be kind to yourselves always.